It's Nick's Psychotronic History of Sci-Fi. Throughout the 80s, comic books were growing as a medium, becoming more relatable to adults through progressive writers who wanted to tell more complex stories. There were many attempts at this, but none were so pronounced as Alan Moore's and Dave Gibbons' masterpiece, Watchmen. The story, in a nutshell, is a realistic look at superheroes, but to say that is to say Dune is like Lawrence of Arabia in space. It has so many intricate characters and plot threads, not to mention just little world pieces that showcase the entire universe they created in just 12 issues, that a simple review won't suffice. It ties into the Cold War tension that was building at the time, as well as being a social commentary in the entire 20th century, something Moore would explore in many of his works. Alan Moore, who had been taking the industry by storm with his revision of the Swamp Thing title and various other little projects, almost gets too much time in the spotlight, often having to remind people that his artists put in just as much effort as he did, often helping with the plotting and sequencing of the comics. That being said, I absolutely adore Alan Moore, and would go so far as to say he's my favorite living writer, as well as saying Watchmen is one of my favorite books of all time. It was turned into a movie a couple of years ago, and like many of Alan's movies, he hated it and refused the money they offered, because he's a true artist with pure integrity, much like the heroes he wrote about. DC also commissioned several writers and artists to produce a prequel, or several prequels, or whatever, to the original story, which Moore despised and seemed to have garnered a cult following of their own. To say I recommend this novel is to damn it with understatement. If you're into comics and haven't read it, you need to. Now. If you're looking to get into comics, this is one of the best places to start.